different from the Gemälde.
Okay. Kann jemand das vorlesen, die ganze? Diese,
Das Geld,
ja,
das Obst, das
ja,
Wasser, das
ja.
Möbel, das Gemüse.
Also die alle, ja, diese sind kollektive Nomen. Und nun gehen wir zum diese Endung. Ist. Ja.
Ja.
Und ist, das ist, ja, das ist maskulin. Die Beispiele hier sind der Jurist,
The
Journalist,
the optimist, the componist means
ja. Und noch
der
was?
Polizist.
Der Polizist,
Ja.
ja. Und noch was?
Komponist.
Komponist ist schon da. Ja. Und also, dann gehen wir weiter. Die nächste Familie, also diese Endung, das ist ich. Ja. Die Beispiele hier sind Statistik. Verstehen Sie, was Statistik? Das ist ja gleich wie auf Englisch. Ja.
Ja.
Und die nächste, die Fabrik. Verstehen Sie, was eine Fabrik ist? Eine Fabrik?
Industry.
Fabrik. It's not fabric in any way. That's a
Industry.
confusion. It's a factory. Industry, die Industrie, das ist etwas anderes, also ein verschiedenes Nomen. Aber hier, die Fabrik bedeutet nicht auf Englisch Fabrik, sondern ja, auf Englisch Factory. Ja. Dann gehen wir weiter mit diesen Kategorie, ja, von Endungen, ja, diese Ant und Ent. Ja, das ist maskulin.
the Patient,
Ja,
the immigrant,
ja,
the student,
ja,
the Praktikant.
ja. Und alle diese, ja, diese Kategorie, also das kann auch feminin, ja, feminin dekliniert werden, beispielsweise Patientin, Immigrantin, Studentin, Praktikantin, ja. Aber das ist mehr maskulin gesagt, das ist, ja, die Endung ant und ent, das ist maskulin, ja. Und dann sehen wir diese,
Die Fotografie, die
ja,
Demokratie, die Geografie, die Biologie
ja,
und so weiter.
die Industrie zum Beispiel, ja, alle diese Wörter sind feminin. Und nun haben wir ein paar Beispiele noch. Die Endung Uhr, ja,
Die Diktatur, die
Diktatur,
die Natur, die
ja.
Tour,
Ja,
Kultur.
aber Kultur, ja, Diktatur ist nicht, also das gilt hier nicht. Das ist die Tür. Hier, das ist, es gibt ein Umlaut dort, ja. Hier, das ist Kultur, ja, das ist, ja, stimmt, richtig. Und noch was in dieser Kategorie? Oder wir gehen weiter. Ja? Diese Ending Ion, ja, das haben wir auf Deutsch. Die sind am meisten, sie sind Lehnwörter, aber hier auf Deutsch, sie enden in diesen. Sie sind feminin, ja, dekliniert. Also hier. Kann jemand das vorlesen?
Die Aktion,
Ja,
die Option, die
Ja.
Diskussion, Option.
und noch was?
Nation,
Nation, genau.
Präposition,
Präposition, ja, bestimmt. Und nun die Ität, ja. Die Wörter, die sie enden mit Ität. Und das sind die Humanität,
die Objektivität, die
Objektivität,
Universität,
Qualität.
Qualität, genau,
Quantität.
ja.
Is it?
Alle diese Wörter, die sind ja ähnlich wie auf Englisch, ja, witty, ja, itty. Und sie auf Deutsch, sie sind feminin, ja, itate. Und dann am Ende, die sind ja hier die Endungen ans und ens, ja, die sind auch aus Englisches, ja, ja,
The arrogance,
Arroganz,
the distance,
ja,
the intelligence, the
ja,
confidence.
ja. Also, alle diese Wörter, also die sind nicht die alle Nomen, die wir haben, aber sie sind sozusagen eine Strategie. Yeah. So you can think of these categories in terms of, for example, from now on, if you think of ending with Übung, Prüfung oder sowas, dann alle diesen sind, die enden mit, also die sind feminin, ja. Also, this is their, yeah. So this is the purpose of this list. This is not exhaustive, and you can add many more to it. For example, if I have missed something, any such category that I have missed, you can, yeah, think about it and add to it. So the second thing I wanted to do was this one. So a further strategy to do this is relational word and groups. For example, clusters of things, right? So what do I mean by cluster or clubbing the words? So there are some examples. Let me know if that is clear to you. So what is the relationship between der Wein und das Bier?
Alcoholic.
Die beide sind Getränke.
Getränke. Yeah.
Ja. For example, der Tisch und der Stuhl. Das ist doch klar.
Google.
Meuble.
Beide
Ja.
sind Meuble.
Und hier?
Beide sind Möbel.
Ja. Hier?
Beide sind getrunken.
Trinken.
Getränkt.
Ja, die beiden sind Getränke. Der Tee, der Kaffee. Und das ist hier das Haus.
Beide sind
Wohnen.
Buildings.
Sie sind in Bezug auf Wohnen, ja? Also das ist, und man kann hier auch sagen, das Apartment, das ist, also das ist, ja, das ist ein, so here you see, und am Ende sehen Sie hier, der Löffel, die Gabel, das Messer,
Der Cutlery.
Cutlery, ja, das hat man mit dem Esstisch zu tun, ja, mit Essen zu tun. Und so that's how you can do it. So you build a cluster of words which are in relation with each other, right? For example, the computer, das Handy, yeah, or something. So look around objects and you will see that they stand in connection with each other. And if you remember that in cluster, that their tea and their cafe, that is something, yeah, similar, and they end with similar, but their wine and the beer, that is different. But if you remember that in cluster, you will have a better, you know, if you make that connection over there, it would be easier to remember. Then there is something which, which you can always like rely on, and that is the article of second noun to be considered, right? For example, this word over here. Can you see it? What's the word?
Estish.
Estish, yeah. So this word, it's a combination of two words. This is not essentish, but it is reduced to compressed as estish. So there are two words over here, s and tish. So by now we know that tish is der Tisch, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, the article, whatever it would be, it would all, yeah, the ending of this, yeah, the last word, that would determine the whole article. For example, Orangensaft. There are two words, Orangen und Saft, but the ending of Saft will determine the article. Similarly, yeah, der Freundekreis, yeah. So here, Freunde, that is Freunde, plural, but the ending is determined by,
Cries.
yeah, der Kreis, yeah. Similarly here, Die Käse und der Kuchen. Die sind beide, ja, die sind aber zusammen, das ist der Käsekuchen. Ja, klar? Does anyone have any doubt in this? Yeah. So in German, we make complex words out of two, yeah, combining two words, right? And it is something more than what we observe in English, yeah. So you can make a composite word out of two, and but the ending that would be only, yeah, that the ending will determined by the last word in this, yeah. So you can make it as long as a word you want to, but the ending would be only determined by the second noun, or in this case, the last noun, right? So these are some strategies. First, you remember the word group, for example, in relation to each other, the clusters, yeah. Look around objects, yeah, das Bäume, die Blumen, und so weiter. So if you do that, you will discover that it's easier to remember which one is which. Then there is that article of second noun should be considered, or the last noun should be considered if the word is too long. And lastly, you remember these endings, right? If you remember shaft, you will remember that. If you remember ion ending, or itate, or ur, or kite, or height, you will remember that this is feminine, or something of these ismus. So I'll send this list to you. So now we'll move on to personal pronomen, and after that, we'll see. I'll also give an exercise to you, all of you, to do as homework, and then you can finish it. So this is also something that I don't see that I don't suppose that any one of you have forgotten about this. It is basic, foundational, but this is why we are doing it in the introductory session, because we need to ensure that we are on the similar foundation. Pronomen, yeah, nomen and pronomen, noun and pronouns, these are the basic, yeah, foundational steps on which you build the grammar, right? First you do that, and after that we can move on to the next themes, more complex, but you need to remember the article, and you need to remember what is what, yeah, in terms of pronomen. So can anyone tell me why we use pronouns? That's also available in English, right? So yeah, just a basic question. I'm sure all of you know the answer. Why do we
Yes,
use
sir.
why do we use pronouns?
We use pronoun because to not to repeat the noun again and again.
Exactly. So the point here is the Wiederholung. Yeah. So we need to avoid the Wiederholung. So if we are referring to a word, for example, here, der Tisch ist neu, and now we need to talk about the Tisch. For example, imagine that you're a salesman, right? And you are selling a table, right, to someone, to a Kunde, the Kunde, customer. And now you don't need to talk about the Tisch, the table, the Tisch. So you can, if you start repeating der Tisch ist neu, der Tisch ist grau, der Tisch ist aus Holz, der Tisch, der Tisch, der Tisch, how does that sound? Right? To avoid that situation, yeah, to avoid that situation, we have something called personal pronomen, yeah. And in this case, we'll talk about this and this. So the personal pronomen, they replace, in order to avoid the repetition, they replace the noun, and that's why we have that. So you know this, and I'll just repeat it once. So the first person, that's clear, ich, in the singular. In plural, we have wir, right? Ich esse, wir essen. So this is, then we have second person, someone directly in front of you, and we have du, yeah. So if I'm talking to any one of you, then I will refer to you du, kommst du, hörst du, yeah. And then I have ihr as plural. If I'm talking to the entire class of you, versteht ihr, was ich sage? Are you able to understand? So in this case, this you is for collective. This is this clear? Yeah. Is this clear to you all? If I'm
Yeah.
referring to, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
so
sir.
in this case, I'm not referring to any one of you, but the entire class. So this is, and then we have something Z, right? And this is something that you don't observe in English, but in many other languages, there is a formal form of you. Yeah, you can observe it in Hindi or in other languages as well. I'm sure that's also the case with other European languages. So there is in English there used to be a formal form, right? If you go through some old text or something, or Shakespeare's drama, you will see that there is some form called thou. Yeah. So you would be something that you would say to your counterpart, to your equivalent, or someone you are very familiar with. And thou you would refer to someone higher in authority, or someone you don't know, or someone position with some stature that you would. Also, in diesem Fall Z. Yeah. So we use Z. Yeah, we hyphen Z. For example, you don't know somebody and you are meeting somebody for the first time. You don't say we heist to, because you don't have that level of familiarity. So you use Z form, right? And it's plural, it's also Z. So I won't say in this case, for example, if I'm talking to you and let's say you're talking to two of your professors, right? Who are like, they are well above your authority, but you need to refer to both of them. So you won't say ihr, was macht ihr, oder yeah. So you would say, können Sie mir diese Frage erklären? Können Sie, yeah. Or so if you're referring to two of the say professors or anybody in the authority or anybody who is not familiar to you, then you would use Z as in plural form. Now, the last one that I would, that is the third person, and that is SZ. That is clear to all of you, I assume.
Yes.
Is
Sir.
that? Yeah.
Yes. Sir.
So
Yes, sir.
SZ, that is he, she, it, similar in the English constructions as well, in the English pronouns. So, but the plural of it would be Z. Yeah. Z, yeah, Z marking here. Also, so you are looking someone at the distance. So, for example, in front of you there is a park and the children are playing. So you are die Kinder spielen. Sie spielen Fußball. Yeah. So you won't say die Kinder spielen und die Kinder spielen Fußball. You would say sie spielen Fußball. Fußball, sie oder sie spazieren oder sowas. Yeah. So the problem here is that you need to always keep in mind is, can somebody recognize in this entire table what can be the problem? It is, yeah, very simple indeed, similar to English in just with a few exceptions. But what can be the problem here?
Small and capital letter Z.
Yeah. So you see, if you will count, there are 4 Z forms, right, over here, and you need to differentiate in each of them, right? So how do you do that? So the Z with the beginning with the capital letter, that is always a form of formal, a reference, right? You're referring to a person or a collective in formal terms. For example, you are addressing a meeting, for example, ladies and gentlemen or something. Yeah, meine Damen und Herren, Sie sind hier und ich, willkommen, or something. In that formal meeting, you use a collective noun. So always identify that with the capital letter, right? Both of them, whether it is singular or plural. In this form, it refers to Z. What does it refer to? It refers to she, yeah, right? Und here it refers to collective third person, yeah. They are playing, they, right? So you need to keep that in mind, that third person singular and plural, they are in the small, yeah, they begin with the small letter, yeah. And second person Z, the formal form, that begins with the capital letter. So so in order to avoid confusion, that's the one sticky point here in this entire formula. So ich spiele, wir spielen, du spielst, ihr spielt, sie spielen, sie spielen, ja, und er spielt, es, sie spielt und sie spielen. So this is the entire table, but what we need to understand here is to apply it. Yeah, that's the main point of the personal pronoun. We understand the logic, we can decline, yeah, we can do the verb endings and all. Ich heiße, du heißt, und so this is the entire, yeah, you can mug it up, but there is also the matter of application, how to apply it, for example, yeah. So can someone read out these 3 sentences over here, one by one? Each one can read one.
Der Student heißt Paul.
Ja.
Ist 20 Jahre alt.
Okay, next, someone.
Die Lehrerin kommt aus Deutschland. Sie unterrichtet Mathe.
Mathe, versteht ihr? Mathematics, right? Und der dritte Satz, wer kann das vorlesen?
Das Baby ist neu geboren. Es ist sehr süß.
Zeus, yeah. So you see that here, their student is, in the next sentence, it is, yeah, replaced by er. Personal pronoun, er. We are already talking in the, yeah, in the form of, let's say, we are talking in third person, right? Here, their student. The student is not in front of you. He is not engaging in conversation with you. You are referring to him at a distance in the third person. So er. Und hier Sie haben Sie, und das ist und, and one more thing that you need to, that when the sentence begins, that is also a capital letter. So how would you differentiate with all of this? You need to differentiate it with
Verb ending.
Yeah, verb ending. That is the most, yeah. If someone says that Sie kommen Sie, yeah, P hyphen Z, then you would see that that is a form of, yeah, formal form of Z, yeah. But here you can see that die Lehrerin singular and Z, thus und thus, so in this case it is referring to she, yeah. So, and thus baby is neugeboren, thus baby, und thus here it is replaced with S, yeah. So this is the standard application. This happens also in English. The student, his name is 20 years old. She teaches maths. The baby is very sweet or some. So in that manner, we also have that in English, but something very particular to German, and which is this one. These uses, these are very particular to German language. For example, here, can someone read these 3 sentences out and let me know what's peculiar here?
Yes, sir. Der Tisch ist neu.
Yeah.
Ist grau.
Ist grau, right?
Yeah. There
Okay.
is replaced by er.
There is replaced by er. So what is very peculiar about it? What is very particular about it? Try to formulate it in English. Translate it in English. What would the sentence would look like? Let me, yeah.
The spelling of TE and there is DER. We remove the D and ER is remains.
No. Can someone translate this sentence in English, plain English?
He is green. Oh, sorry, grey.
Yeah, the table is new, and the next sentence would be translated as
He is grey.
no. It won't be translated.
It is gray.
It is gray. It is gray. It would be translated. It is, the table would not be said. The table is new and he is gray. We simply
I know
don't
this,
refer
but
to.
here er bedeutet he, na.
Yeah, that
So
is the
in English,
Yeah, that is the peculiar point, right? That I wanted to show you, that this is similar to what we did. This is similar to English, right?
Yes.
Die Lehrerin kommt aus Deutschland, sie unterrichtet Mathe. She comes from Germany and she teaches. The teacher comes from Germany, she teaches maths,
Maths.
right?
Yeah.
So when we refer to persons, that is already similar to what we do in English, right? But when we come to things, yeah, and here come these articles in German, which is totally absent in English, right? In English, we have the definitive article, only one, the, right? So these articles come into play, right? So in English, every non-living thing, for example, that is it, right? In German, you need to conjugate it. You need to use the pronoun as per its article, right? Definitive article. So it doesn't matter whether the dish is living or not living. It really doesn't matter. You need to do it here like this. Yeah. You need to refer to that dish as air, like you would refer their student as air. So here it doesn't really matter if it's living thing or non-living thing. What matters is what is the article, and that is why it is important to remember that. What is the article? Yeah. So der Tisch ist neu, ist grau, and it is happening because, as I wrote here, yeah, just a minute, my laptop is running out of some, but let's just say that we'll, is all of it clear that we did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just stop the presentation over here. I can't continue due to reasons well known to you, that my laptop would run out soon. Yeah. So we are already at the end of this. I'll send all of you to these documents in the Google Classroom, and just think about these examples. Das Haus ist alt, es ist sehr groß. In this case, it is very big, right? But in this case, here you see that the bag, die Tasche is shown. Sie ist bunt. She is, you can't say it is colorful. In English, you would say, but in German, you need to rely on the article of the word, and that is die Tasche. So in this case, sie ist bunt. So forget the distinction about living things and non-living things. As in English, you need to stick to the article, and that would determine the pronoun, right? So these are the things, and I'll also give you an exercise to do, and here you need to do the entire thing. Yeah, these are the examples I would be given here, and you need to fill that out and submit it before tomorrow's class, right? Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will send this via Google Classroom. So please access that. And those of you who aren't there, please join that, because from now on, I would be sending material not via email, but through Google Classroom. Okay. So we'll just wrap up today's class, and hope you learned a thing or two, and we can continue tomorrow. The purpose for today's class was that it was a little foundational, but these are the building blocks that you can build other things from. Yeah, on the adjective ending or verb declination and other things, but all of this requires nouns, pronouns, and articles, right? So thank you all, and we'll meet tomorrow at 9, and we'll attendance we don't need. I think that is clear, and rest of you can watch the video as we're done. Must have recorded that. Okay, thank you everybody, and
Thank you, sir.
okay.